did not have a good dinner.
No, what'd you eat?
Carrot sticks.
What? Hold on. Wait a minute. We got to start the episode on that bad boy right there. You're tuning into the Endless Honeymoon podcast. That carrot stick chomper, old Bugs Bunny over here. That was Natasha.
Carrot sticks.
You ate carrot sticks for dinner?
Sliced tomato with olive oil.
Damn.
And then I had that tofu, the Korean tofu.
What are you, some kind of rabbit over here? What's going on? You don't treat yourself right, girl. You know?
You know, the idea of ordering something from DoorDash, it was like $70, and I would have to stare at my phone and keep talking to them and explaining to them how to get into my house, and it just seemed so annoying. I was like, I'll just cook what I have.
Cook? It sounds like you didn't. It sounds like you picked what you had.
Well, now, our daughter liked it.
I don't mean to mansplain to you, but you got to make some space for yourself to enjoy that, Delph. Watch. You want to see how it's done?
Yeah, how do you do it?
Hey, tomorrow, by the way, me and Kurt Brownell are going surfing. See how smooth that happened? Hey, tomorrow, me and Kurt going surfing.
So you want me to say that to you more? Then we'll just...
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow, can you wake up with our kid?
Yeah, that sounds good. It'll work perfectly with my schedule to go surfing with my buddy in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll bop her on down, and then I'll bop out, and I'll bop some waves.
Cool.
You know what I do in the lineup when I'm surfing? I flirt with chicks.
I bet they're really impressed with your...
They love a middle-aged father. That's what surfer babes are all about. I'm not middle-aged. I'm in my young. I'm young.
What else do they want?
What do surfer babes want?
I mean, a cute guy who can pay the bills. It's probably good enough.
I think they want a man in a VW bus who's ready to go to Pismo. I think that's kind of what they're after.
Pismo.
Yeah, Pismo. They're not really after... the 401k crowd.
Right.
You know? They're more after the do a bump of K crowd. Does that make sense?
It does.
They like ketamine. They do ketamine. And I do a lot of ketamine when I surf with Kurt Brownoller. But don't tell his wife and kids.
My cousin works at a ketamine clinic.
Yeah?
And that's all anyone ever asks her about.
Oh, well, it is pretty interesting.
She works at a clinic where people microdose ketamine legally.
In Rockford, Illinois?
Yeah, and she wears scrubs. No, in Chicago.
I was just going to say, can you imagine doing ketamine in Rockford? You're already in a K-hole. You know what I mean? A class hole. Class. There's some class issues there. That's kind of what I'm saying. Natasha, are you when does this come out, Laura?
We don't know.
We don't know. Are you either excited about our upcoming live Netflix as a joke show or super thrilled at how our live Netflix as a joke show went of a month or less ago?
I'm excited. We have Sabrina. We have Atsuko.
We had them.
Had Sabrina
they
and Atsuko.
Killed or will kill.
Well, listen, I don't know if there's even tickets left, but you might get lucky. So check it out.
There might,
the Masonic Lodge.
I'll tell you what, if this episode comes out after the event, there's definitely not tickets left.
I don't get enough props in life.
I'm about to give you some. Whatever you say. What do you need?
I'm the first person to have done a comedy show at the Masonic Lodge.
You know what? Props on that.
Thank you. I'm the first person to have done a podcast.
That is not true. I can't give you props on that.
I mean, basically.
What do you mean, basically?
In 2011, I had a podcast.
When's the first podcast?
89.
Oh, by the way, does people know who you are?
No, I don't think so.
It's my brother. We have intern. What do we want to call him?
Intern Brian. Toxic intern Brian.
He doesn't want to.
Oh, you don't want to be toxic?
I would be intern before I was toxic.
Yeah. You want it to be toxic? Laura's saying.
So not toxic, Laura.
He might be toxic. Okay,
he's
toxic
not
intern.
toxic.
I could be way more toxic.
He's like Sunny.
Okay, hold on. Let's think of a good one. So we got toxic producer Laura, and we got, how about powerless intern Brian? That'll work.
Rude.
Well, it's just what's happening.
All right, maybe people can write in.
Yeah, write in a good nickname for Brian.
Anyway, first podcast. Okay, maybe like The Man Show was a pod, or I don't know, like Adam Carolla might have had a podcast.
What was your podcast in 2011?
It was called The Lavender Hour.
Who'd you do that with?
My boyfriend at the time.
I don't want to talk about your exes. I've told you that so many fucking times.
Our kid is sleeping right above us.
Sorry.
She's going to be like, Dad. Okay, well, listen. Anyway.
Have we ever told the story of, I probably can't tell the story. Probably cut it out. But have we ever told the story of maybe the second time you and I made love?
No, Moshe, I don't think we've told that story.
And we were in your house and towering above our naked bodies was a like really, really large poster of your ex-boyfriend looking down at me.
Why did we have that?
I don't know. It was just down there. It was
I used
like
to go to the Framers a lot.
it was detritus from your old life, and I was like pumping away, and I flip around because I flip a lot, right? I'm Sir Flips a lot. I got knighted,
But it wasn't hanging up. It was probably like had been taken
but I'm
down
just
and
saying
on
I
its
was
way
making
out.
eye contact.
Well, that's on you, babe.
It's not on me. You hung it. That's
I
on
think
you,
it was
babe.
taken off the hook.
Okay, listen.
I would not invite you over and like.
All I can say, you're saying it's on me. If I had brought you into my Studio Plus, it was a Studio Plus. I wouldn't call it a classic studio. It didn't have a kitchen, but it did have a separate bedroom area. And my ex, if Dua was up there, my ex Dua Lipa, if she was up there and a poster from her concert life staring down, I would have had the decency to put a veil over it. Do you know I used to go out with Dua Lipa? Do you know that?
No, honey, I know that's not true.
We used to paint the town red.
All right. Well, listen, 2010 was probably when I had the first podcast.
Props for that,
Thank
by
you.
the way. Do you know that I published the first newspaper?
Fuck you.
I'm serious about that.
Listen.
Do you know that I invented the printing press? That's actually a real anecdote.
Well, anyway, I'm glad I have a podcast now with my current lover.
Honey, current? That suggests there might be another.
With my
Forever lover? Can you
main
call me your
husband.
forever lover? Your main husband? You got a side husband? I never heard of a side husband. I heard of a side piece.
How useless would that be? Oh, sorry, Moshe. I know you don't like me making fun of men.
Natasha, props to you. Props to you. No, that's not exactly it.
No, you were, because like our daughter in the car yesterday, she really wanted to hear.
Natasha.
What?
No, go ahead. Tell the story, but I guarantee you're not going to tell it faithfully.
Okay, well, she wanted to hear like some female rappers, and
no,
then Moshe started playing.
She never mentioned female
but
rappers.
I know she likes female rappers.
You started going. I put De La Soul on, and you immediately were like, "It's so good that now rap is like a lot more women." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's good." And we're listening to De La Soul, very positive
and
stuff.
she was like, "Can you turn this off, please?"
I would prefer some people from the matriarchy. Remember when she said that? Do you have any third wave feminist rappers? And then you started saying she wants to hear only female artists. She likes female artists. And it's just like, if that's true, it's because you're indoctrinating her.
So what?
All right. We took her to see Beetlejuice, the musical, last night, or a few weeks ago, depending on when this podcast comes out. It was ribald.
Oh, is that the word? Ribald?
I think it's ribald, but I might be wrong. It might be ribald, but it was definitely like, I definitely had
boners.
There was a lot of boners. I want to be inside you. A lot of like homoeroticism and stuff. And I was kind of like, I was between two minds because I was kind of like, this is cool that our daughter's getting exposed to this kind of like level of stuff, but also like, I really hope she doesn't get that orgy joke. And
I don't think she got anything.
She didn't.
No.
And that's good.
And I think maybe the tickets were gifted to us by a friend. I think maybe it's not really appropriate for her age of 6.
You know what?
I think it's probably 8.
We got to just roll with it. You know, I
like to
enough
show
props.
my kid what for like something that's appropriate for like age appropriate.
I know you do. That's
I kind of have a stick up my butt about stuff
one of the
like
coolest
that.
things about you. I don't get enough props for being a parent that likes to show his kid like hard R movies, hard R comedies. I showed her Bridesmaids. I showed her The Hangover.
No, he's lying about that.
I'm
All right,
not.
listen,
This
Moshe,
is true.
I can hear
Nightmare
you
on Elm
lie
Street.
and pontificate.
Nightmare on Elm Street. She loved it. She didn't sleep for weeks. She was thinking about it so much.
I have a very heavy stack of questions that people have emailed us.
It's a no-call zone today.
It's people who maybe are afraid to make that call. They want to remain anonymous.
By the way, write in and tell me, when I cross my legs, I've got a really cool look. But when I cross my legs, I've been noticing there's about an inch of hair that peeks out. Go ahead and write in and tell me if it's repulsive. Curious about that. Been thinking about that lately, looking at the video footage. Maybe you can't see it.
Go ahead and write in.
Maybe you can't see it. Maybe the framing doesn't show it. But go ahead and write in. In the wide shot, does the inch of hair that peeks out from my sock to my cuff a little repulsive?
Who cares what anyone thinks?
I'm with you, sister.
We must be good. We must be independent of the good opinion of others.
Who's that? Who wrote that?
I don't know. I used to walk around New York saying it.
Sounds like the guy that started the first podcast. You know that men created podcasting? You know that's our thing?
Listen, me and Duncan had a podcast before anyone had a podcast. I've told this story before. And I think our third guest was Chris Hardwick. And he was like, what is this? So you just like plug your computer into the thing and record and you can put that out. And then he created Nerdist the next week. Every single comedian we had on our podcast created a podcast like that month.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, this is cool. I'm just saying.
You're a fucking trailblazer. Nobody doubts your legend status. No one doubts it.
It's more of like visionary.
Visionary legend.
I truly agree. I truly agree visionary.
Okay, so here what?
But
truly
not
agree visionary?
I said I truly agree that I'm a visionary, but I don't know about legend.
Okay, so we got toxic producer Laura. We got powerless intern Brian, and we got truly agree visionary legend Natasha. Now what am I? I know what I am. Repulsive inch of hair Moshe. All right,
that
here's
would
the first
be
letter.
your never mind.
Yeah, everybody heard the joke you didn't make. And we're not cutting it out either. Wow, Natasha. I just want to start with a land acknowledgement that joke was told on stolen land. Hi, Natasha and Moshe. I need some advice. I started dating a friend of 8+ years. He's amazingly sweet, thoughtful, and in touch with his emotions. He's been nothing but supportive and helped me grow spiritually and mentally, but after 2 years of dating, I have a nagging gut feeling that he isn't right for me. How do I end things while still salvaging the friendship we had? Is that possible? Natasha, you're dear friends with every ex you've ever had. You want to take this one?
Listen, you've got to nip it.
Nip it.
You got to
snip it.
You got to snip it.
You got to dip it before you lick it.
You got to
lick it before you dip it.
You got to it might come back.
Oh, you think if you love something, set it free if it comes back?
No, but I'm saying you have to remove yourself from them because whoever does the breaking up, the other person usually still likes that person. Because if anything, they feel offended and they're like, oh, you broke up with me. And then you're like, oh, am I not good enough for them? So this person is going to like feel bad like that. So it's not really nice to string them along and pretend like you guys are still friends just because you're ready to move on as friends. So what you have to do is remove yourself from the situation and let them get over it.
I've said it before.
Well,
you're doing a person, even if you break their heart, you're doing them an unbelievable favor by getting the fuck out of their romantic life the minute you know that they're not right for you.
But you can't like be like still friends.
You can be still friends. I'm just saying you get out of the person. It is an act of compassion. Oh, this is going to go viral. It is an act of compassion to break up with someone you know isn't right for you, even when it hurts their heart. Even when it seems like the least compassionate thing in the world, it is always compassion because you are moving out of their psychic love energy space and you are allowing room for the actual person they're supposed to be with to slide in there.
Okay, Brene Moshe.
That's right. I don't get enough props for my viral self-help moments on this podcast.
Listen, I think you're right, but the problem is there's such a thin line between like what does breaking up mean, and they might break up with the person, but then they're still like taking their texts and meeting them for coffee and moving their stuff out.
That's true.
What I'm trying to say is
snip it and really snip
it. Like you got to like manipulate something. Like you're
snip
like,
it and manip it.
I'm breaking up with you. I'm going to be going away for this, or I'm not going to be available, or I think it might be best that we don't talk for a couple
So you're
weeks.
suggesting
you need to like freeze because 8+ years, you're so used to being around each other.
Right.
You need to kind of like get away from each other, and you have to sort of fabricate something, not fabricate, but like, make it so you're not in each other's presence.
It's funny you mentioned this because I was having dinner tonight with an old friend. I went and had dinner with a bunch of old friends tonight, and we were talking about my friend's ex, who I was mutual friends with. And she said she had a diary from back then where they were both in AA, and the diary entries were like, so-and-so came over today. He made amends for the bad behavior in the past. It was really nice. And then the next entry would be, we did end up sleeping together again. And then the next entry would be, so-and-so came back and made amends again for she said it went on for like 8 months where the cycle was they would hook up. They would have a toxic breakup. He would come back to apologize. She would accept the apology. They would hook up. They would have a toxic breakup. So you're suggesting.
So I'm saying it's like it's so hard. You have to kind of like you have to figure out a way to not be in their presence, see them, talk to them, ice
But
them
she's
out.
not asking this of you, but you're suggesting it, and I think it's wise. She's saying, how do I end things while still salvaging the friendship we had? You're saying maybe the best move here is to not try to salvage the friendship you had.
But let them know you're interested in a friendship at some point when they've both moved on, and don't make it seem like you're just not the one. You make it seem like, I just feel, and maybe you will get back together with that person, but I just think there's something
That's wise. I also was thinking something similar, but actually I wasn't thinking that she should actively distance herself from this person, but I think that's kind of smart. But in answering the actual question, how do I end things while still salvaging the friendship we had? Is any friendship worth you wasting valuable years of your life where you could be finding the person you're supposed to love to spare the feelings of someone who you're not supposed to be with in the first place? Rip the Band-Aid. Move on.
Exactly. Now, actually, this leads us into our second question. How do I move on from my ex while we currently still live together?
This
Dumb
one's
idea.
a tough one. This is tough.
We've been together for 4 years and best friends for 10. She says she has too much on her plate, med school.
Wait a minute. That's making me rethink what I was going to say.
Why? Because of med school?
Med school. I would say get back together with that person.
And doesn't have the mental capacity for a relationship. However, she still sleeps in my bed, kisses me, has sex, and says she loves me. Maybe it's my lack of setting and maintaining boundaries. Come on, that is the word of 2024. Boundaries.
You say it like that too.
Boundaries, anyone?
I go boundaries, or I'll go often awkward. I'll do either of those.
I'm holding on to hope that she will choose me at the end of the day, but I don't know. Maybe I look like a clown. Please help.
LOL. She is choosing you at the end of the day. She's just not choosing you at any other point in the day. And so it just depends. Do you want to stick around for this doctor to meet some like thoracic surgeon and move on? Or do you want to get some dignity and move out?
Yeah. Wait, no, she's moving. She sleeps in her bed.
Say what?
This doctor
No, the problem here
sleeps in this girl's bed.
First of all, we don't know if this is a girl, but the problem here is that the doctor and this writer live in the same house. Well, yeah, your pattern is established. While you live in the same house with this doctor friend, you're going to continue to have romance with them.
And it's hard because it's probably so easy.
Move out. Move out.
Yeah.
You got to move out.
Sorry.
Or the cycle will never end.
Sorry to be so blunt.
I mean, yeah, I write you a prescription, one that you will never be able to write, but your ex will, to a new apartment. Go ahead and move out.
All right, Moshe, you want to take this next one?
Hey, Moshe. Hey, Natasha, I have a question. My husband, like all men, I guess, loves playing with my boobs. I do love playing with her boobs. And Brian, you must love playing with her boobs as well. All men love playing with her boobs. I have pretty big boobs, and specifically, he'll touch the nipple. Not hard, but just kind of play with the nipple between his fingers.
Ugh.
I don't like the way it feels.
That seems annoying.
We have great sex, but I would honestly prefer if our whole sexual intimate experiences could go without him even touching my breasts because it just doesn't feel good to me. I just kind of want them left alone, but I don't know how to bring it up. We've been together for 4 years. I've just kind of dealt with it. So like, how do I bring it up now after 4 years and say, hey, all this time you've been playing with my tits and I've hated it. So any advice, Moshe? I mean, how would you want this news broken to you? Natasha, if this was you, how would you break this news to somebody? Thanks, guys. Love the show. This is a great question.
Listen, I think that thing that they were describing, of putting it in between his fingers,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
What are you talking about? That's common.
He's like wadding it like a piece of gum. Or
How do you know
something.
what he's
Or
doing?
like a piece of wax. Like
The
he's
wording is not hard, just kind of play with the nipple between his fingers. And from that, you got wadding a piece of gum?
Yeah, like he's just kind of like moving it around. Like he's like, it's almost like he's going to like twist her nipples a little bit. And also, but she waited 4 years, so I don't really know how to help her.
Yeah, I think our advice.
Or no, I know you could say.
I think our advice is
"Listen,
clear, Natasha. Hold on,
starting
let
to
me just handle this one. Our advice to you is clear. It's been 4 years. You're gonna have to just suck it up and allow him to do whatever he wants with your breasts for the rest of time, right, Natasha?
I think that you can say something like, here's what I think. You have to figure out what's the most annoying thing he does to your breasts, because there's probably 3 annoying things he does. And whatever's the most annoying, you have to tell him you don't like that. And then the other 2 things, you're just going to have to live with them.
What?
Yeah. Like she doesn't want her, like, she doesn't want him slapping him around, probably. She doesn't want him scratching
Putting
him,
his
whatever
face
else
in
he
between him
does.
and saying hamana hamana.
She doesn't want that. And she also doesn't want him flicking her nipples in between his fingertips. So if that is the thing that is super like making you cringe, then I think that's the thing you have to tell him. Then the other two you just have to deal with.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why can't she just be like, hey, this is so weird. It's been 4 years. I know. I love having sex with you and everything you do is so sexy. My breasts, I just don't really like them being touched during sex.
But you've been letting me touch them for like 4 years.
No, I wanted to make you happy, honey, but the truth is
You don't like being touched during sex?
Touch me everywhere but my titties.
I mean, that's like a big part of sex.
Why are you talking like you're stupid? Is it because of your gender?
I'm just saying, I think that
She can't just accept things she doesn't want done to her body because she's too vested in the relationship. What's wrong with being like, I love sex. I love sex with you. Everything is good. I don't know why I've never had the courage to say this, but the truth is, this is I never.
my nipples
suggest
are
a
very
lie.
sensitive.
Yeah, my breasts. My breasts are really sensitive.
I have a better one.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
My nipples have become more sensitive.
Ooh, Natasha, now that's a spicy lie.
And you don't even have to
I
say.
like it.
You don't even have to say as I've gotten older, because that's sort of like degrading to you. So you can just say,
this is good.
my nipples have become more
My
sensitive.
breasts.
My breasts have become more sensitive.
Yeah, you know what's weird? Derek? That's his name probably. You know what's weird, Derek, is I don't even know what this is about, but like lately, the last couple of years even. How long have they been together? No. Lately, my breasts have become just really sensitive during sex. I think like I'm maybe too turned on and there's all this like nerve energy going on in there. Like, but I love the sex we have. Can we just like do some sex where it's just like we don't even...
You can't say I'm too turned on when you touch my
I'm
tits.
realizing what this guy's issue is going to be is she's got big pahungas, and he's like, he loves them. Mm-hmm. He doesn't just,
that's why I'm right.
Like I have touched your breasts during our interludes, but I wouldn't say every single time. Like if I did something every single time, it would mean it was like what I was into doing every time.
Well, small boobs are different.
No, they're perfect and hot. I'm not saying that I'm not into them. I'm saying like he's specifically, like, you know how I put the horsehair butt plug in every time we make love and I say, call me a horsey and ride me like one. How I do that every time. That's my thing. And this guy's thing is her breast. So he's going to be crestfallen. He's going to be breastfallen. But the truth is her titties. You don't just suck it up. If you were doing something to me, okay, I don't like my nipples touched during sex at all.
Right.
I just say it. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, but you said that to me in the first 6 weeks we were dating.
Right.
She's waited 4 years. That's why I'm like, she's taking it away from me. But she can just say, listen, in general, here's what I would say. I really don't, it actually kind of almost hurts, like not in a good way when you like twist nipples in between your fingers. And in general, my breasts have become more sensitive. I don't know. Maybe we could just focus on some other areas.
Yeah, I like part two. If she asked me as a man how I would like to hear it, that's what I would like to hear. My breasts have become more sensitive and like it kind of takes me out of it sexually when you play with them. Is it possible for us to just do it? That's what I would like to hear. It has nothing to do with you. I would start with this. As you know, you have the biggest penis I've ever seen, as we all know, and you're the best lover. I come like crazy within the first 12 seconds of our lovemaking. But lately, as of late, my breasts have become more sensitive. And I love what you said. It almost hurts.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, it almost hurts, not in a good way. Is it possible for us to just do like our sex stuff, which by the way, I love. I mean, how could I not love?
That's exactly what I just said.
I'm saying yes. I'm saying it again. I'm reinforcing it. You think I'm taking credit for the idea?
Yeah.
No, I'm not, honey.
No, I don't think that. Okay, listen, I like your spicy lies though, Moshe.
Your spicy lies. I'm just yes-anding them.
All right, here's another one. Hello, I'm a tough laugh. I find it's a problem in different social situations, especially work. I'm trying to not feel as much social pressure. I'm trying to be more myself. I'm trying to be more myself by not pretending to smile, laugh, or fill in silences with idle chatter. It can all be exhausting to me, so I've been working on being more comfortable with just being more myself. Now I feel uncomfortable being the only person in the break room who isn't laughing their ass off at a joke a coworker told. I'm not laugh. Is this a Tim Robinson sketch? I'm not laughing because the jokes are inappropriate, just that I don't feel the urge to laugh out loud. I rarely do. I wish I did feel like laughing easier. I'm a little worried that now I seem like a snobby bitch. I'm just wondering if maybe I should pretend a bit more, or maybe there's a way I can change my funny bone, or maybe I should explain this to coworkers. No name.
Will you do your fake laugh? She should do your fake laugh. Yeah, just fake it like that. Hoyt. That's a good one.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah?
What if you smile?
Yeah. That's a bit even that. There's something even worse about that though. Like
she
you make
how
a
do
joke
I be charming?
Like some goofball like me comes into the break room and is like, oh, guess what happened to me last night? And then at the end, you just go like this.
Okay, everyone has phones.
Yeah.
You can always be looking at your phone in the break room.
That's
Do
funny.
your own thing. I got 2 words
Ignore
for
your
you.
coworkers altogether.
I got 2 words for you. Hold court. Find a cool spot. You want to sit, put your computer, your phone, you're facing the room, you're doing your thing. And then if someone looks up at you, you can smile, but then you don't have to be involved in their all laughing at whoever this loser is.
Hoyt. I got called out once because I was running a writer's room and this is true. This is a tick that I do. When someone says a joke that I think is funny, but like I don't think is really funny, I'll say, that's funny. I say,
oh, this is real.
Yeah, this is real. I go, that's funny. And then anybody else, that kind of a thing. And somebody called me. I was like, you just say that's funny, when you don't really think it's that funny. Maybe she should try that. Like, that's funny. Say, oh, that's funny. That could be good. Should I cut this whole anecdote out?
No, I'm trying to think of, if that would work or what the other options are. You could also say...
you could take an autism test. I took one.
Yeah, how come you didn't tell me you took an autism test?
Well,
I know you've been trying to drop the bomb that you got a 0.
I got a 0. 0%.
That's not,
What?
I don't think that's possible.
What do you mean? You take it.
Do you think that I have some of the things?
I don't know. Take it. I'm not. It's a 50 question quiz. You want to take it right now in real time?
No.
We could. Be content.
We could live stream it though. My autism
that'd be fun.
test.
We could do that as a Patreon bonus episode. Natasha takes an autism test. I took one because somebody in my comments was like, oh, I read your book. I didn't realize I was reading a memoir by an autistic comedian. I go, well, you're not. And then I'm like, wait, Art, you're not, right? And so I took the test. 0%.
Did you send it to that friend? Or to that?
No,
but
I don't know that person.
You had a friend who thought that you were autistic.
Yeah, there was another friend who
and
I
our
texted.
therapist said it too.
No, he did not. He constantly calls me neurodivergent. And he's talking about my ADHD, and I've asked him to stop. It's like, what?
Wait, you want him to stop saying that?
Yes.
What?
Why don't you just say ADHD? I don't want to. Listen, I'm all for acceptance of neurodivergence, but it can't be so destigmatized that it's socially acceptable to declare another person neurodivergent, non-consent, unilaterally. Oh, yeah, well, you act that way because you're neurodivergent. No, wait a minute. Let me go drum up a frickin' clinical test. I don't need some internet commenter declaring me welcome, brother. He said welcome, brother, for real.
Your brother in autism.
Well, that was a different text. I was to my friend. I go, what's up? Hey, you said there was a comedy theater in Atlanta that it was really good. He goes, hello, my brother in autism. I go, what are you talking about? You can't just you can't give me autism. You have to let me discover it about myself. And I went and I tried and I couldn't.
Well, I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad that I'm here as well.
You seem pretty cool and normal.
Oh, you're saying people that have autism aren't normal or cool?
No, I'm not saying that.
Whoa. Why don't you
No,
make
but hold
another
on. We have not
native
helped this
joke?
person, Moshe. Listen, she's like, how
This
can
is a hard one, to be
What
honest.
is she really? So her problem is she's like, I'm trying to be more myself by not pretending
I know
to
what it
smile,
is.
laugh, or fill in sentence with idle chatter. She's kind of just like finding herself. This sounds
Yeah.
like a young person in their 20s. I was in a bad mood from like 23 to 27.
Right.
Like you're just like
You're
you still
only
have
26?
hormones raging.
You're currently only 26?
You have hormones raging,
Yeah.
you know.
No, you're right, Natasha. Why is this person so worried about... I finally realized it. The problem with this call-in thing is that she's like, why is everyone's gonna think I'm a bitch because I don't laugh at their jokes? It's
no,
like,
but you know what?
Who gives a shit?
It almost seems like it's one annoying person telling the jokes in the
kinda
break room,
does.
and everybody's laughing at this person, and you don't really like this person that much. You know, so it's like you just don't. And also, the person I'm sure is not funny and obnoxious and annoying, and other people just don't know how to like ignore them.
But the point stands. Also, no one's like, why isn't she laughing at jokes? What a bitch! Like that's just not really something that's going on. And even if they are, they sound that they're judgmental and whack.
Okay, well, you know what? I think she should just be herself.
All right,
listen, Moshe, you know what? I need a break from all these people. I would like to hear some secrets.
some other people.
I would like to hear some deep, dark secrets. And
DDS. It's a porn category, by the way.
DDS?
Yeah.
All right.
Deep dark secrets. What do we got? Hey, Tosh.
Yes, Moshe?
You know what's coming, right?
Summertime.
That's right, girl. And people want that banging beach bod. But if you're not ready for that, Natasha got a suggestion for that as literally.
Yes. Why not try Honey Love? I want to tell you about Honey Love's best-selling Superpower Short. It has targeted compression technology that distinguishes between areas where you want more support and the areas you need less compression.
What does it do to that midsection?
Their Signature X targets and sculpts your midsection without squeezing your natural curves. It's designed to work with your body, not against it.
So it's basically a short that you put on and it kind of makes you look banging?
Yeah.
It makes that body look like PHAT?
Have you
In
ever
a good
tried
way?
compression?
I mean, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that.
Wait, Moshe, have you ever tried compression tights, or is that kind of just for
I wear
women?
compression boxers because
You
I
do?
have a lot of swelling in my crotch.
The Superpower Short is helping ladies everywhere sculpt and smooth from stomach to thigh by offering just the perfect amount of compression. You won't have to worry about it rolling down, which is unheard of in shapewear, thanks to flexible boning that's hidden in the...
Flexible boning? I didn't know they had that. Flexible boning? Listen, I'm interested. The secret is out. Feel comfortable and confident this summer with Honey Love's best-selling Superpower Short featuring flexible boning.
That is also a booty lifter.
Oh my God.
Boots bands on the back of the thigh give your bottom an amazing shape and lift.
My God. All I want to do is lift your booty, put a boost band down, and just do some flexible boning. If you're interested in that beach bod looking hot this summer, check out Honey Love. They also have bras. Tosh, you wear the bra all the time, don't you?
Yes, they have bras, tanks, and leggings for everyday support. And ladies, Honey Love is just as easy to put on as it is to take off. Shapewear shouldn't be hard to put on. It's like putting on a scuba suit. I hate that.
I love a wetsuit, but you know what I love more than a wetsuit?
What's that?
Flexible boning. For a limited time only, you can get Honey Love on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/honeymoon.
Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/honeymoon. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/honeymoon. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. The summer vibes are just getting started, honeymooners, so shape your life with Honey Love.
My secret is that in 2019, I got pulled over for talking on my cell phone, which is funny because I'm recording this right now while I'm driving. And it was revealed during this traffic stop that my insurance had lapsed. And so I got my driving privileges revoked. Soon after that, my car got towed for parking in like a loading zone. And I just forfeited it to the tow yard and started using zip cars instead, even though my license was revoked. And it's 2024 now. I've been pulled over 3 times since then, and every time I've gotten out of it by using my pretty white girl privilege and have been driving without a driver's license for 5 years. But I just yesterday finally got my driving privileges restored. So I'm on the right side of the law now, unless I get pulled over for leaving this message. That's my secret. Thanks.
Got some questions.
Yeah.
How come you get pulled over so much?
Oh, that's a thing that cops pull over hot blondes.
Is that true?
I heard.
Interesting.
Well, because I've had friends who got pulled over all the time.
Huh.
I mean, I'm sure that that's not like only the case, but I
No, that's
definitely think like
fascinating.
girls with like blonde hair who are hot get pulled over more.
Huh.
Because then, I mean, who would you want to spend 25 minutes talking
You,
to?
honey. A short brunette. Always.
But it seems like she's kind of getting off on that a little bit.
Well, I haven't been pulled over in so long, like 4 times in 4 years. That seems like a lot. This woman's a real scofflaw. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Someone who scoffs at the law.
Oh, okay. I like that.
5 years? And I didn't need pretty white girl privilege, you know?
You don't like that?
Well, I just didn't need it. It felt like a brag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she was like, I'm not just white. I'm fucking hot. I'm hot and white. I'm a hot white piece of meat.
All right. Well, listen,
I'm
let's
an
hear.
unlicensed hot white piece of meat.
All right. Let's hear another one.
So my secret is that I saw something on TikTok about using period blood to help plants grow. So one time when I was super high, I just kind of dumped my Diva cup into my plant. And like it did help it grow. But the plant was basil, and I definitely cooked for my boyfriend.
Oh.
Like using the basil, and I
Cool.
don't think I ever told him.
Ooh, that's good.
So, yikes,
Puttanesca.
but he's been down there anyway.
Now that's a spicy lie as well. I mean, are you incumbent to tell your boyfriend that you fertilized the plant with period blood? I sort
No.
of feel like it's not, unless he's like, the basil is a bit irony this month.
It's a little witchy, though.
It is somewhat witchy. It's an Italian witch. You know, it's a witchessa.
We have our daughter's placentas in a tree.
Right. We have a tree that is growing, and the roots are the. Oh, I saw a great documentary last night that you saw 10 minutes of, called Big Little Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a beautiful documentary. I gotta recommend it to these people. It's all witchy. It's a very witchy farm. These two kind of like filmmaker people from LA start this farm 40 minutes north of LA. You think it's going to be about like the cluelessness of these like idiots from the big city, but it turns into this like sort of meditation on the natural cycle and the balance, the ecological balance that can be achieved that we've gotten so far away from. It's a beautiful fucking documentary, and I guarantee they would have used period blood on this farm.
Well, I want to watch it.
I want to use my period blood to grow a marijuana plant.
That would be cool.
Yeah, called that the weed strain. You know, that weed, that blood Kush.
Ew.
What? That's actually a good strain title. Blood Kush, period Kush, the period purple.
No.
That
Ew.
period purple.
All right. Listen.
Menstruana. Something like that.
Let's take another secret.
I want to think of more possible period marijuana thing.
Menstruana. That was funny.
How about Diva Cup dabs? How about tie stick, tampon tie stick? Nobody smokes tie stick anymore. That's from like your father's group sex marijuana drawer.
This isn't after midnight, Moshe.
Period weed. All right. Let's hear another secret. You're right, Natasha. No more puns.
Hi, Tosh. Hi, Moshe. I've got like 7 pounds of chicken thawing on the counter, so I've got to make this fast. Thanks for understanding. But
You're welcome.
lately, well, maybe not lately, but if I'm honest, like the last several years, I've started to notice that my pubes are gray. Not all of them. No reason to be alarmed, but maybe like 5 to 7% of my pubes are like,
Oh, thank goodness.
not gray, but like silvery, like really beautifully sparkly silvery.
Great.
So it's pretty, it's nice. I'm in my 40s. It's to be expected. But
Yeah.
you know, when something like this happens, you turn to your girlfriends, don't you? Because you just want a little bit of support. You know, so going to them and saying, hey, when did you notice this happening to you? Let's talk, let's commiserate, let's support each other. none of them will own up to it. None of them will support or admit. So my secret is that all of my girlfriends have gray pubes and they won't talk about it.
That's not.
It's really upsetting. I feel like I'm moored, alone, just kind of adrift in this gray pube world. And I don't know, I thought if anybody could understand, it might be you guys. So,
What a funny take.
Listen, I think that you could probably dye your pubes.
That's true. And you could probably die pretty soon based on the amount of gray that's in your pubes. I think this is a very funny take.
I think that is her problem that she wants to know what to do about gray pubes, or is her problem that she knows that her friends are like have gray pubes too?
That's what's funny about this.
Because everyone has different.
She does not know that they're lying. She can't face the fact that she might have premature old puss, and that her friends don't have that issue. And so she's like, well, it's clearly they're all silver minks down there too. I mean, that is I think she knows she's being funny, but I liked it.
Have you ever had sex with a woman with silver pubes?
That's a good question. No, I suppose I have not.
Would you?
Well, because I've been married to you for frickin' 10 years, dude.
Would you? But didn't you have...
Would I?
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely. In fact, it's one of my top searched categories. Yeah, I would. Definitely. Yeah. You know what the problem with getting older is? Is your like MILF fantasy or GILF fantasy? It's just like, it's just coming true in slow motion. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real issue. It's never going to feel, by the time you get there, it's not going to feel taboo. You're gonna
right.
be like,
when we're 70, it'll just be like,
oh, hot gray minks. Oh, look at me. And then you die of a coronary episode. Yeah, sure. I would. Definitely. I have a story on my first album. You're going to love this. About the time that I found a gray pube in my thatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like really freaked out, started panicking, thinking about death, and that death was coming for me, and I'm getting older. And then I realized that the underwear I was wearing was, I used to buy my underwear used at Thrift Town, the first class secondhand store. And I realized that I was wearing thrift underwear. And that the gray pube actually probably belonged to some old dead guy who had his entire underwear collection had been given to Thrift Town. And that made me feel a lot better.
So the gray pube you saw was not on your
dick.
It was like...
It was in the thatch.
Oh, you pulled it out.
I don't have pubes growing like actually from my penis. Do you think that I do?
No, I would think...
Do you think that I have a dog's penis?
No, but in the joke you're declaring you have gray pubic hair. I would think that's from looking down and seeing it.
A single silky gray pube that I pulled out like Arthur taking his rightful place on the throne of England.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it really happened, but it's on my first album. It's like a comedic short story about that. Anyway, nothing wrong with little gray pubes, I guess is my point here.
Would you call it old puss?
Old premature old puss. Yeah.
Well, that was rude.
Well, I was trying to, give us a spicy kind of...
Listen, keep it really short. Get some dye.
Yeah, get a fade.
Yeah. Oh, get a fade.
Get a fade.
Oh, yeah. And then dye it with like some kind of natural... Maybe there's a natural pussy dye.
Pussy henna.
But you don't want it to be too... I guess maybe black would be cool.
Black pubes? If she's like super white blonde?
No. Don't get black pubes because then it grows out.
Don't dye your pubic hair a different color than your head.
Why? That might be cool.
That would be kind of cool. Have you ever been with a man with like a colored muff?
You mean a lot of gray?
Like a green or a purple? Like a punk pubes?
No.
That's cool. Going against the grain, you know?
Why, you've seen that?
I've seen it on the internet. It's not cute. I wouldn't say it's cute.
All right. Well, listen, I think we had some great secrets. Should we get back to these questions?
Yeah, okay. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
You know, I had a near panic attack the other day when I was looking at all of the different subscriptions that I realized I had signed up for and forgot. I hadn't even watched things on these apps for like a year.
We had 3 Roku subscriptions.
It was crazy. We haven't bundled things we could bundle. We have too many Rokus, too many Tubies. Well, Tubi's free, but still.
Well, we got Rocket Money, and did you know that 75% of people have subscriptions that they've forgotten about?
I'm 75%.
One of them. That's
I'm
like
in it.
Most of us. Before we started using Rocket Money, I thought I had I don't know, 10 subscriptions. I had like 40 subscriptions. I had so many things, Moshe, you don't understand. I'm subscribed to the New York Times on, I get it sent to my house. I also have the app. I also pay for like 4 different things. I pay 4 different tiers that I never use. It's so frustrating.
The problem is not that you subscribe to these things, but that you subscribe and then you forget you ever had them and you don't even use the service. Knowledge is power. And thanks to Rocket Money, we're no longer wasting money on the ones that we forgot about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. I feel like they've saved me at least $1,000.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel those unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/honeymoon.
These are perpetual subscriptions. They keep renewing every year if you don't look at what you have. Please make it stop. That's rocketmoney.com/honeymoon. rocketmoney.com/honeymoon.
Hello, Tasha and Moshe. First and foremost, I'm a huge fan, and tuning into your podcast weekly while working makes my day so much better. Thank you. That feels very nice. I would like a little advice on this ongoing situation I have. My mother-in-law lives in another country, and every year she comes and stays with us for around 3 weeks. We've been doing this the past few years since COVID restrictions have been lifted, and we're still trying to tweak certain things to make it, well, tolerable. I would even go so far as to say I actually enjoy hosting people at my house, but 3 weeks is a lot for me. I'm an introvert who requires a lot of personal space and time to unwind. Plus, she doesn't really understand personal boundaries and thinks it's okay to go into my bedroom to clean, etc. My husband usually agrees with me on most things, but on there's one point of contention we have. She always wants to cook for us. First, I'm not particularly fond of her cooking. I'm a vegetarian, and she doesn't really understand why I can't just eat meat in a dish that she cooked. Second, I like high-quality things and buy expensive cutting boards and stainless steel pans. And the one time she was over, she tried to prepare raw chicken on a cutting board that is hand wash only. That sounds so ridiculous. Yes, I know. It's just an annoyance, and I feel like I have to watch over what she's doing and explain things that I don't really want to explain. I don't want her cooking in our house, but my husband wants me to be a little more liberal on this boundary. I'd like to hear what you guys think. This is a hard one.
I think that 3 weeks a year
is a lot.
That is not a lot.
No?
No, because then you have the rest of the year of them not living there.
3 weeks a year? You would fucking go ballistic if my mom stayed with us for 3 weeks. 3 weeks? That's a long time.
It is for a year?
3 weeks a year? Visiting in-laws for 3 weeks a year in your house with you?
You talk about a camping family vacation, that's 10 days.
What?
I'm saying like 3 weeks isn't that long.
What do you mean?
Is it? I don't know. If it's only once a year.
Picture my mother staying with us for 3 weeks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
That would be
Saturday,
hard.
Sunday. 3 of those.
Okay, so this
This is hard.
needs to be gone some of those days. Like 10 of those days.
10?
Yeah, or 7.
That's
4, as many as possible.
That's a hard one. Yes.
Writer's retreat,
Yes,
end quote.
that's really smart.
Spiritual meditation retreat, end quote.
Hoffman method.
Hoffman method. Parenting workshop.
Silent retreat.
Silent meditation.
Learning annex. Peru for ayahuasca. This is smart, Natasha.
You have to go away for it. You have to figure.
It's simple.
And it can just be a girls' trip, seriously, but you can just call it like a meditation. You Zoom meditation.
This one's simple. Don't do Zoom because then you're in the other room.
Right.
This one's simple. On the second weekend, you're out every time. And I think you're right because this is so difficult. You can't say.
plan something fun.
You can't say, I don't want your mom to come anymore because then it's full scale war. You can't say, I don't want your mom to cook anymore because that's just awkward. You just bounce. And by the way, you can make your own food. You don't have to eat the food. You could be like, oh, yeah, I'm on a little diet. It's good food.
But you
I'm
have
doing
to.
good food.
Yeah, and you know what? Just put out the old cutting boards when she comes, and the
That's
rags
smart.
you don't like.
Oh my God, Natasha,
and the
you're
pot.
brilliant.
Keep your like La Crusade or whatever your
Yes.
fancy pots are. That all your favorite things. Hoard them upstairs.
This is
Just
fucking
make sure
brilliant.
she has everything she needs. But go to like Ross Dress for Less and get her like a plastic cutting board.
This
like
is awesome.
Stack the kitchen and just pretty much just know for those 3 weeks she's going to be in the kitchen and try to take advantage of that in some way. Maybe she would like to boil you water, make you tea, make you coffee, put her to work maybe in the kitchen for you a little bit.
Yes.
And make it work for you.
I think the boundary around meat is one that is reasonable. You can make the boundary.
Okay,
I
but
don't
put
eat
away
meat.
your nice wooden
But you just
hipster
I
cutting
think this
board.
is so smart. Go on to Craigslist, free for the full year in preparation. Get a whole series of cutting boards and cutlery that you got from Craigslist.
No, just get rid of your favorites.
Go to Home Goods, get some crap, put your good stuff upstairs so she doesn't even have the access to it. And then at the end of the year, you put it in the bin. Mother-in-law's stanky ass salmonella board. And this is great. I love it, Natasha. All right, should we do one more letter and then say goodnight?
Okay.
We only have one. We have to do one.
Hi, guys. I would like you to weigh in on how my husband and I manage our finances. We are both working and each have 2 bank accounts, one joint account and one personal. We use these accounts as you would expect. All joint expenses like household bills, groceries, rent, and etc. come from the joint. And every personal expense comes from our own account, such as clothing, gas for our own cars, gym membership for my husband, and salon expenses for me are all from the personal accounts. Every paycheck is automatically divided into the 2 accounts. So I get 50% of my paycheck in my personal account, and then another 50% of my paycheck goes into the joint account. Exact same system for my husband's paycheck. This system has worked wonderfully for years, but my husband thinks we need to have all of our money in one account. We are moving into a new home that will take more expense than what is available from our joint account, and he says it will be easier to manage if we just have all of our money together in one place. I just don't know how I feel about this. I really like each of us having our own spending money for personal items, aka escape plans. I put that in. What is your opinion?
Sincerely.
I like having my own money.
Dear, I like having my own money. This is interesting. Has he taken out a life insurance policy on you by any chance? Because he might be plotting your demise.
No, I think that, I think women want to have their own money because they want to make sure that, they have. I just think you have to decide, are we a team? Is it us? Are we going to pool our resources to make everything happen? Or are we going to have our separate incomes? I don't know.
Well, this feels...
If it's easier to combine it, the only reason you wouldn't combine it is because you feel like deep down if it all falls apart, you'll be able to have your own money.
Or you don't trust the way your husband spends money.
Exactly.
One of the two, right? I don't know. This feels personal, really comes to a person's specific sensitivities. Like this person's clearly type A based only on the way that they wrote the letter. 50% goes here and then the other 50% goes the 2 accounts and then personal. It just feels like she's uptight about money. And he clearly isn't. There's a part of me that feels like based on that, they shouldn't combine their accounts because it'll stress this person out forever. This is important to her. But there's another part of me that's very sympathetic to what you're saying, which is that feels like a fear-based. It's about fear, about what if this relationship falls apart? What if I can't have access to my own money? I should have my stuff. You should have yours. But isn't that kind of the opposite of what you do when you get into a marriage?
Unless she makes way more money than him.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But we don't know. It didn't seem like that based on the letter. It feels more like what you're saying is just in case a bitch got to dip out. And that feels like a bad place to make a decision from. But I don't feel like we have enough information. Why do you like having your own money so much? What is it? What the system has worked wonderfully, and I just feel like us having our own spending money for personal items, what are you afraid of?
I know what I would be afraid of.
Yeah.
If she wants to go to a hotel or do one of her fake meditation seminars.
Right.
She wants to make sure that she's not giving more of her money
but it's
than she would.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe by pooling it, she starts to get less a little bit.
Like he's spending her money.
Yeah, and he doesn't, and he knows how much she's spending.
And he might comment on her spending.
Yes.
Those are two separate things.
Both of those things.
This is what I'm saying. We don't have enough information here. Like, what's the agita? What's the fear here? Is it that he will spend foolishly? Is it that he will see the way she spends? Is it that she will not be able to leave in a hurry should she need to? Or is it just a more generalized anxiety about like, I like my stuff? And then it's really about intimacy, right? Financial intimacy. Fellas, if married couples out there, we don't talk enough about financial intimacy. Sure, we talk spiritual intimacy and physical intimacy, but there's nothing more vulnerable making than you doing a joint account. That one won't go viral. My point is, I think we haven't even scratched the surface of what we would actually need to know to really be able to advise this person. So I can advise this person. I think I've come up with something. You guys have to have a bigger conversation than this like casual, no, don't you think? Maybe we should keep our money separate, or maybe I kind of like you guys have to like put all the cards on the table. You don't have to put all your money together, but you have to be really clear. Like, here's what my anxiety is. Maybe getting a 1-time or 2-time couples therapy session going so that you guys can both really lay out what's going on and why he wants to combine them and why you really don't, so that people aren't like pretending that they're communicating well when they're actually like stuffing the real stuff underneath the conversation.
And also, if it's here's something, when you talk to him, it's been working so far. So that's a really good pitch. You can be like, listen, this system has just been working. So I just think we should keep doing it this way.
Right.
That's a good way if you really do want to keep it like that.
I mean, I actually do think anybody that feels strongly should be able to have their own account. But if you were like, I want my own account for me now, I would be like, what's wrong? That would be my first question. What changed for you that you're feeling that way? Even though we do have separate accounts, don't we?
Not really.
We do. You and I do.
Right. Yes, kind of.
We do.
Yeah, but
You've got your
our
account.
money is
I've got my account, and then we've got a joint account.
right. That's true.
But okay, so I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Well, listen.
Is this rambling? Are we off the rails?
Financial intimacy. It's important.
We can cut that part out too. Wait, hold on. Let's come to a good point at the end of this before we talk.
Well, you were kind of making it sound like we don't have enough information, but I don't want to toss the whole question. So
no, I think my suggestion of getting to the bottom, having some clear communication about why it is that this is causing you anxiety, that's the secret, and that will actually create more intimacy than combining accounts, is by saying, look, these are the things I'm afraid of. You know, so many couples, us included, every couple is having these conversations with themselves about their relationship that they're never having with the person they're in the relationship with. And that is, you know, what is the purpose of having a life?
What if you scare someone away? What if you haven't been together that long?
Why would I want to make any decision based on fear? I mean, the whole point of being intimate with someone is that I get rid of my fears and I get closer and closer to another person until I am subsumed into their body and I bust inside of them. That's the whole point. Like, I don't want to be making decisions based on fear, right? I want to be like clear and open. Right?
Yes.
I mean, listen, do we practice what we preach all the time, Natasha? No. You have great secrets. I know that. You have deep, deep DDSs.
Listen, if you have a deep DDS, give us a call at 213-222-8608.
If you would like to give us enough information to give you fulsome advice, then come on the freaking pod. Send us an email, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, and you can be on our podcast. We're on Instagram.
Also,
Yeah.
join our Patreon.
Join that Patreon.
We
Join
love
the
it
Tron.
there.
Natasha's taken that National Autism Society test.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do a live
Coming
stream
soon.
of me doing my autism test.
By the way,
I can already tell you I have a 0.
I just want to clarify. I think it's great that
I'm autistic for some things, actually.
I think it's great that autism is being destigmatized and neurodiversity is being embraced. All I'm saying is, go ahead and let people come to that conclusion on their own.
Exactly.
I saw a video the other day. This was so funny. This is how far neurodiversity acceptance has come. This woman was saying, she's like, hi, I have narcissistic personality disorder. My partner has sociopathic personality disorder. He's a sociopath. It's the most healthy relationship I have ever been in my life.
That is so funny. Listen, my husband in autism. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, until next time, Endless Honeymoon Podcast listeners, it's been real. And Natasha, I love you.
I love you too.